Hello guys, welcome to your channel which is SciEngineers. This is Sushant. We have been uploading videos for the Maths 3 section. This is going to be the continuation video for the topic of Laplace transform. So if you just missed the earlier video, you can just see in the description below. We have pasted the link for the earlier video on Laplace transform. So to get the regular updates, do like our videos, do share our videos and do subscribe to our channel. To never miss a notification from us, just hit the bell icon which is just beside the subscribe button. If you want any other topic or any other subjects related to engineering, please do write in the comment section. Your suggestion will help us curate the content of the upcoming videos. So let's get going with today's topic. So in today's video, we are going to be seeing certain formulas for your Laplace transform. So we have this table prepared wherein we have the functions f of t, which is nothing but the time domain functions. And we are now going to be finding what is going to be the Laplace of those functions in the Laplace domain. So the e raised to at, the Laplace of that is going to be 1 upon s minus a. E raised to minus at, it's going to be 1 upon s plus a. The Laplace of sin 80 is nothing but a upon s square plus a square. The Laplace of cos is s upon s square plus a square. The Laplace of the hyperbolic sine is nothing but same as your sine, only difference is with a minus sign. So it is a upon s square minus a square, and similarly for the hyperbolic cos, it is s upon s square minus a square. So these are the formulas for your standard functions, that is nothing but the exponential and the trigonometric and the hyperbolic functions. When we have the function which is t raised to n, in that case the Laplace of that will be gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. If you can just recollect what is the gamma function, it is nothing but related to your first year, which is nothing but your second semester topic of beta gamma function. Now in this case, this particular formula is for any n. Now if I have the n as a positive integer, in that case it's going to be nothing but n factorial upon s raised to n plus 1. Going to the next one, if we have a special case where n is equal to 0, that means the Laplace of 1, if I substitute in this, I'll be getting Laplace of 1 as 1 upon s. So these are some of the standard Laplace functions or Laplace transforms of the standard functions. Let's see a related sum on this. So we are taking this particular question wherein the function f of t is given to us as root t plus 1 by root t the whole cube. I need to find the Laplace transform of this. So first of all, you have to understand that whenever you're solving Laplace transform, you have to always consider the formulas related to the Laplace transform. If the function is fitting inside the formula, then only we can apply the particular formula over there, or we can find the Laplace transform of that particular term. So in this case, we can see that this is root t plus 1 by root t the whole cube, which does not fall in any of the standard formulas which we have just seen. Because if I see the related formula, it is t raised to n. The Laplace of t raised to n is what we know. But in this case, we have a root t plus 1 by root t as a term, and then we are taking the cube of it. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to simplify this particular function, and then only we can find the particular Laplace transform of it. So let's see how to solve it. So we are taking the function f of t, and you can see that this is of the form a plus b the whole cube. So let's apply the a plus b the whole cube formula, which is nothing but, as you can recollect, it is a cube. So we can write this as t raised to 3 by 2 plus it's going to be 3a square b. So that is 3. The a square term is going to be t, and the b term is nothing but t raised to half, 1 by t raised to half, plus it's going to be 3 into ab square. So that's going to be t raised to half into 1 by t, plus it's going to be the b cube term. So that's 1 upon t raised to 3 by 2. Now that's going to be leading us to the formula, that is t raised to 3 by 2 plus, this is a t and this is a half, so that becomes t raised to half plus this is a half and this is a 1, so that will lead us to t raised to minus half. Going to the next one, it is going to be t raised to minus 3 by 2. So you can see that we have now individual terms of t. Now using the property of Laplace transform, which is nothing but the linearity property, we can individually find the Laplace and it will follow this particular rule, that is Laplace of t raised to n. So taking Laplace on both sides, so taking Laplace transform, we'll be getting this thing as Laplace of f of t is equal to the Laplace of t raised to 3 by 2 plus the 3 is a constant term, so it will come outside. So it's Laplace of half t raised to half plus it's 3 into Laplace of t raised to minus half plus its Laplace of t raised to minus 3 by 2. So if we follow this particular formula, that is Laplace of t raised to n is nothing but going to be n plus 1, that is gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. So if I apply it on this, we'll be getting this thing as the gamma of 3 by 2 plus 1, that is nothing but 5 by 2 upon s raised to 5 by 2 plus it's 3 into, this is gamma of half plus 1, that's 3 by 2 upon s raised to 3 by 2 plus 3, it's gamma of half minus half plus 1, so that is gamma half upon s raised to half plus it is gamma of minus half upon s raised to minus half. So if we solve this gamma 5 by 2, it's going to be leading us to the value which is 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 into the gamma of half, which is nothing but root pi, upon s raised to 5 by 2 plus it's 3. The gamma 3 by 2 is going to be 1 by 2 into root pi divided by s raised to 3 by 2 plus the 3 into gamma half is nothing but root pi upon s raised to half. So on solving, we'll be getting the term as 3 by 4 root pi upon s raised to 5 by 2 plus 3 by 2 root pi upon s raised to 3 by 2 plus 3 root pi upon s raised to half and minus 2 root of s pi. This is how we'll be solving the Laplace transform, and we have in a way discussed the first property of Laplace transform, which is nothing but the linearity property, which we have applied at this particular step. The linearity property just states that if we have an addition or subtraction between two functions, the Laplace transform of those functions then can be just simply the addition or the subtraction of those two functions. So thank you guys for watching this particular video. Do let us know in the comment section what more videos or what more content you would like us to make on. We will be also uploading the videos related to the second year of engineering and some videos for the first year of engineering. Do let us know in the comment section what content you would like us to make on. So don't forget to like our videos, share our videos and subscribe our channel. Do hit the bell icon which is just beside the subscribe button. Don't forget that we are Sci Engineers and we have been uploading videos for the engineering subject. Do let your friends know about us so that it helps them in their preparation for the engineering levels.